Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you're all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more Car Mechanics Simulator. In the previous video we did a whole Civic rebuild where we made it nice and fast, but I thought I'd do something muscle car related today. So that's why I have these two Mustangs right here. Now what the plan is, basically I have this Mustang here and it is all gleamingly new. It is a lovely, freshly restored car. Everything underneath is new. All the engine is new. I've got a nice twin carb engine here, looking very nice. Everything is just gleaming and lovely, but it's too nice. It's too nice. It's even got some like tuner bits there. I've got some like custom rear lights and painted bumpers and stuff, but it's too nice. So what I want to do is I want to get this. This is another car I bought. This is a rusted old shell of a Mustang. And I want to basically have a ratted version of this car that we can take to the drag strip. So that means I'm going to be tearing all of this thing down. I'm going to be tearing all of that stuff out. And I'm going to be pulling all the stuff out of this car, all the underneath stuff. Which seems like a bit of a shame because this is a brand spanking new car that I'm using as a donor car. And I'm going to take all of this stuff from underneath here. And I'm going to put it into this new one. And then I'm going to do an engine swap and stick in the big, massive engine that's got the big blower in it and the supercharger. And we're going to take it to the drag strip. But of course, before all of that, we will take this one to the drag strip so we can get a nice base time of what the car is like in its standard form. But today I want to do a full rebuild. So before we get into all of that, there are going to be some comments and questions on the screen. These are comments from the previous video. If you would like your comments and questions featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random, and some of them might be featured in the next video. And also, I should point out a couple of things. What should I point out first? Okay, there is a swap tyre function now. If you would have actually, by the time, in fact, as I'm recording this, the Civic build isn't even out yet on YouTube, which means that you're going to be watching a video where I'm talking about how the tyres are terrible at a point where we can actually change the tyres in real life. So, I won't change the tyres for this one either today. I'm going to pretend as if that thing doesn't exist. So then we can have a showdown of different tyres in a separate video using this car that we're going to be finishing today, plus the Civic, plus the Mercedes that we've been tuning up, just so we can see what sort of cool times we can get with the tyres. So I'm going to do a separate video on those. Next point I want to bring up is I do have a Twitter. For those of you that use Twitter and you aren't following me yet, you can find a link to my Twitter in the description below. It's at Figureight. Quite easy to remember. And the last thing I want to point out is, yes, there is another competition. There is another giveaway in this video as well. I'm going to hide a comment. I'm going to hide a little bit of a code. And somewhere in the video, at some point in this video, there's going to be a code hidden somewhere on the screen that you can type into Steam. And if you have the base game, you'll be able to claim it. And then you can have the performance DLC, which is what we're looking at mainly in this video. And there will also be a way that you can win another copy in the comments below. But I'm not really going to give the question for that giveaway just yet. It'll be later on in the video. So now we're done with all that sort of messy bit at the start. Let's actually jump in. And first of all, I'm going to test this out and just see what sort of times and stuff like that we can get. So first of all, let's take this to the dyno. Okay, here we are. Now, I'm not going to do any tuning to this thing. We haven't got any ECU tuning. It's all carburetor tuning here. I'm not going to do any of that. So as you can see, it's right at 0% at the moment. All the ratios are wrong. I'm just going to keep a test run in its stock form as it is. And that's going to give us 248 horsepower, which is, it's a pretty okay number, but I think it's not that great. It's not that great at all. So now, let's take it over to the little drag strip thing, and let's just see what sort of times we can get with the stock engine. Okay, here we go. And also, before I start, you should notice in the controls, there are now the options to use P and O for gear up and gear down. That is because in some countries, they don't actually have squared bracket keys on their keyboard, so that was a bit of an oversight by Playway, but they've got that all sorted out in this new update. So let's go with this standard 2-carb version. There is actually a single carb. There is a slower version of this, but this is the engine that came in the ratted version, so I thought that was the engine I would use for this version. So we've got a 7-second 0 to 100 kilometers, 10-second on the 8th mile. We're going to be getting a 15.3 in the quarter mile. I forgot to change up, so this last time is going to be a bit off. But it looks like we're going to be getting a 25, maybe a 26, 27, 28? Oh, 27.9 in the 1,000 meters. So that is a 7-second 0 to 60, which is not bad for the stock car. And a 15.3 second quarter mile. That is our base rate. That is what we have to beat. So let's go back to the garage and let's just start tearing everything out. Okay, so I'm going to leave this car where it is at the moment because although we need some of these parts down here, there's no point in adding them to my inventory and then mixing them up with all this stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear everything out. Now, for those of you that have seen the previous videos, you would know that when you use the swap engine function, it will just give you a brand new spanking engine, and it's sort of, it's not right. I think that this game could have implemented a far more detailed way of doing it. I mean, we've got like all the bolts undoing and stuff. It would have been nice if we could sort of crane engines in and out, that sort of thing. So to try and remedy that, I'm actually going to tear this engine down, remove everything, and then use the swap engine function to put the new engine in, just so we can add a layer of realism to this game. So what I'm going to do, in fact, let's just go ahead and let's just start ripping everything out. So here we go. Let's just take that off. Wow, look at the color of that filter. It's sort of all dark and spotted. Here we go. Here's our twin 4-pot carbs. There we go. 4-barrel rather than pot. Can you call them 4-pot? Or is pot? I think pot is what people would say for cylinders rather than things on a carburetor. So I guess that was wrong. There's our throttle body. There we go. Or the intake manifold rather. What am I saying? There's the intake manifold. Onto the engine heads on this side. Lots of stuff. I mean, as I pointed out, you don't need to do all this if you're doing an engine swap. But I like the idea of just taking this all off and doing it yourself manually, because it just adds a layer of realism to it, I guess. God, there are so many rocket arms on this thing. I forgot about all of these. I was used to playing with the V8 on the Mercedes, actually, on these teardowns. Haven't done one of these normal engines before, actually, these normal V8s. Only really touched the Mercedes ones. There's a lot more stuff to do on this one. There we go, rocker arms. Some of those are actually looking less dirty than others. The other thing is, I get that the whole point of this is to show the rust on these because it shows you, like, the quality of the thing. But if you had an engine that looked like this, if you had all this stuff that looked like this, your car would be fucked. It would just be completely ruined. Whereas sometimes you can actually drive the cars when they have engines that look like that, and that's not right. That feels really wrong. But it's always been a thing with this game, so I guess that's just one of the features of this game that we'll have to live with. There we go. There's all of our valve push rods out on both sides. So much stuff to take out. Now, we can take the head... No, we can't take the head off because we need to take all this stuff off first. Let's get rid of the ignition wires. We'll worry about the dizzy cap in a minute. Let's take our plugs out. And I guess we have to take the manifold off first. I guess that makes sense because it's stuck to it. That obviously does make sense. There we go. Now we can pop our head off. Pretty simple, really. And she's all done. Right, now just to do the same on the other side. Yay! How fun. There we go. Taking all the plugs off. There we go. And the head. Nicely done. And also, yeah, this thing, because it has those little rocker things, this doesn't have a cam. This is the thing. Everyone always has a go at me when I talk about these or where I don't know about an engine. I was like, you call yourself a car guy, you don't know this thing about an engine. Do you know what? I've never worked on a V8. In fact, I've probably never even looked into the... Actually, that's not true. I have seen one of those at car shows. But, like, generally, in real life, I've never even really been in a car with a V8 before, I don't think. I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever been in a car with a V8. There we go. There's a weird fact. So, yeah, it's just the sort of things that... I guess these are the sort of things you pick up as you go along. Some people like to read up on this when they're younger and they're not... You know, before they've even bought a car, they might even... You know, read up on this stuff. But engines have always been a thing for me that has... I've always felt that it was the bit that I didn't want to work on. And so I never really bothered to learn about most of the stuff that's in this. Like, I like cars, I like everything. But why do I need to know about a crankshaft pulley if I get other people to work on my car's engine for me or whatever? So, yes, I can apologise that I don't know everything about engines. I'm slowly learning. This game's sort of teaching me a few things here and there. But generally... Oh, I think we're going to have to lift up now. What else have we got here? We could do from this side. There we go. Fuel filter. I think that's it. Apart from the brake servo. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I am slowly learning what I'm doing. I mean, it's also like things... I don't understand how compression works. I mean, like, the only reason I really know anything about gear ratios is because, like, when you adjust them in the games. But, I mean, I wouldn't know what a... If someone told me, oh, it had a 248... Actually, I don't even know if that number is a thing for a ratio. But you know what I mean? If someone said that ratio, there would be some car guys that would be like, yeah, I know what that means. You know, they can sort of relate that to how fast it might go or how, you know, how good it is. But I don't have a clue. It's not the sort of thing I've ever really bothered to pick up because it's never been of any relevance to me. I think I'm going to have to take everything out from above now, I guess. Yep. So, yeah, I have no idea. I guess that those little tappet things, whatever they are the things that are instead of a camshaft. Instead of having a go at me, guys, because I know a lot of people in the past have had a go at me about these. It's just teach me. You know, this is the thing. Instead of people like having a go at someone, why don't you know that? You suck. You don't know that. Teach them it then. Just why don't you share your wisdom? If you think you know, share your wisdom. So yeah, I apologize if some of you might be annoyed because I don't know these things. It doesn't make me any less of a car guy. I have to put that out there because people keep talking about it before, and that's why I'm talking about it now. Right, there's that camshaft there. Oh, there is a camshaft. There he is. So I'm not a moron. Okay, so it does have a... Okay, whatever. Right, I think we need to go under the car for that one. Right. Yeah, I know. The thing is, most of my knowledge, if any knowledge that I have on engines, is from a four-banger. It's from a normal four-cylinder... Why can't I take this off? What am I missing here? Is it because I have to take the gearbox off? I think it might be because I have to take the gearbox off. It's like, what's that you say? Take the gearbox off? I could just hear you. I could feel you all sort of screaming it at the screen as I'm playing this, for those of you that know about cars and stuff. I guess everyone just has their little special thing that they... No, I don't want to do that. God, I'll tell you what. This little bit in the middle, this drive shaft, is a bitch to get off in this game. It's just so hard to click on. So yeah, the great thing about being a car guy is you don't have to know every single intricate detail about every car to be a car guy. You can have your own interests. For me... I mean, again, this is going to make people call me a racer, and again, it's a really silly use of the word. I've always been interested in the visual side of cars. I like all the, I grew up with Max Power. I liked all the body kits and the stuff. I mean, like, now that I know better and I know how a car can look better without them, I agree that most of the time I don't think they work. But at the time as a kid, I thought these were great. I thought, look at these cars with these, with these crazy body kits on them. Now, if anyone looks at those, they go, oh, that's Ricer. I mean, I could go into a whole other rant about what the fuck Ricer means, because that is the most wrongly used word in the just car scene in general. Maybe I'll do a vlog on that at some point. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't make me a Ricer, I don't think. I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation. Is there anything else we can grab here? I think everything else has to be done from underneath now. That's the engine out. But I'm not going to put the new engine in yet because I want to get rid of all the exhausts and everything else underneath first. And I'm assuming that the exhausts don't change when you do an engine swap. So I guess we'll put those in after the engine because I don't know exactly. But I could be right in thinking that actually the exhausts are the same. But I don't know. I'm not completely sure. So we'll keep those there. We'll take those off and we won't put anything back on from the previous car until we've put the engine back in. So now it's just a case of doing all of these and taking all the wheels off and doing all of that sort of stuff. So let's go. There we go. Wheels. These are this is the general stuff. I mean, there's so much building in this video that I think I might have to skip some of this because we've already done a teardown of the engine. And again, I'm going to have to tear down the other engine because I want to do some major tuning. So I think we might skip ahead until I've got everything out now. Okay, I'm still on this bit. I have more to say on that topic. When I said that I was into the visual stuff, it doesn't just mean that that was the only thing. I just like how cars look and perhaps I'm superficial. I like how cars drive. I have all that interest. But as a kid, I obviously didn't have that because I didn't know how to drive. There's a lot of people that they go, oh yeah, so yeah, the MX-5 drives really well. And they're like 14. They've never driven a car in their lives. I mean, I was never one of those people. I never admitted to knowing things I clearly didn't know. So as a kid, my only way of having an infatuation of cars was just how they look and how they were to sit in as well, like how cars felt, sitting in them as a kid, being driven by them, until I then was able to drive my own car, and now I have appreciation for how cars drive and stuff. But it doesn't mean that I don't like the look of a stanced out Lada, for example, like a lowrider Lada or something. They probably drive terrible. I'm sure they're probably unsafe, but I think they look cool. And that, I like that part of cars. It's only just recently, as I'm getting older and I'm starting to appreciate more about performance cars as I'm driving more and I'm wanting more out of a car, that I'm starting to pick up these engine bits. But I don't think it makes anyone any more or less of a car guy if they know about these things or not. I think it's a really silly thing that people have where they go, you're not a car guy because you don't know this or whatever. Whatever. I mean, there was something on Car Throttle the other day. Oh, only real car guys know what a Saline S7 is, or whatever. Like, what? I mean, like, is it even called an S7? Actually, I think I made that name up. I think I might be right, but I might be wrong there. But, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, you could just be really into muscle cars. You ask the guys at Hot Rod, ask them questions about an S15 Silvia. They probably wouldn't have a clue. Does that make them not car guys? I guess there's my rant there. But you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter what you do or don't know. If you like cars, that's all that matters. So if anyone tells you you're not a car guy because you don't know something, or you didn't know about a certain car, I don't know about the compression ratio of the engine of a Ferrari F40 or something. I don't know. It's no relevance to me, so whatever. But if you are into that sort of stuff and you care about that sort of information, then good on you. That's great. That's awesome. That's the whole brilliant thing about cars, is there are just so many different facets to lifestyle of cars that you can go for. And I love all of it. So that's, I guess that in its way is why I don't like the word racer, because it's sort of, it picks on people for liking cars. I mean, even if they've made a car not in the way you like, who cares? Yeah, there's my point. There we go. Right, I think I'm almost finished. I didn't really mean to intend to show all of this in the video, I guess. But we're almost done, so there we go. And I guess we can use that as the topic for the day. I mean, this isn't going to be related to the competition, but just let me know your thoughts on what I said there. Do you agree? Do you not agree? I don't know. Let me know. So there's our fuel tank. Oh, we need to take the pump out, don't we? There we go. That is everything stripped out of this car. It is completely down to the bare metal. Look at that. There we go. I'm going to leave all the panels on. We don't need to take them off. They're perfectly fine. But there we go. Completely empty. Now, at this point, if you were playing a standard game and you didn't have the sort of cheaty... It's not really a cheat. It's a code that the developers gave me so that I can show you all of this in a video instead of having to, like, play for years on end to save up for it. At this point, you would probably take all these parts over, fix them up, and then sell them. But I'm just going to sell them as they are. So let's see how much money we would get for all of those parts. 5,656. I don't think there's a quick way to repair all these, is there? It's going to have to be completely... Do you know what I'm going to do? So we had 5,656. Let's just see how much more money we make by repairing stuff and selling it. Okay, there's everything repaired, and it's just made me think that I really should have paid attention to how much I paid at auction for this, because I hadn't considered this before, but I wonder if it's possible to actually make money by buying cars cheap at the auction and fixing them up on that table and then parting them out. I wonder if that's a thing that is viable in this game. So now I've actually pretty much doubled it just by using that fixed thing. So there we go, 10,266 made. There we go. But of course it doesn't really matter to me, but there was just a fun little test that we could have done. Now, right, let's pull everything out of this one. If as I'm building that, perhaps I can add another topic. There's going to be so many topics of discussion in this thing. But here's another thing I'd like to know. Those of you that do play this game, what is your usual money maker? Do you just do the jobs? Do you just like do the jobs as they come through the phone to make money? Or do you do something like buy a car, do it up and sell it for more? Is that sort of viable in this game? I haven't really played that part of this game. I've always just enjoyed just the building of cars and not perhaps the logistical side of it with the money and stuff. So it'd be kind of interesting to know, you guys that actually play this game, how do you make money? Okay, almost done with the front bit. Here we go. Let's just get all of those bushings out. I think that's all of them. Rip that out. There we go. There's the whole front end done. Now it's just a case of doing the rear end. I'm not sure if these exhausts are the same. I think they are. Actually, this is the same engine, isn't it? So that's going to be right. Okay, so we'll have to compare those. So I'm going to leave those exhausts there just so we can see if the exhaust does change in a minute. So, oh, do we need to take the drive shaft off? I guess we do. I guess that's all part of it. Of course it is. Isn't it? Is it? No? I don't know. I guess it is. Okay, we'll take the drive shaft as well, I guess. I guess the more I take, the less I have to buy, so that's always a good thing. I've got to say the back of this is actually really simple as well. These leaf spring things are all just so simple. The front is obviously just a little bit difficult, but it's no difficult than any other car. But these things are pretty simple. There we go. And a bushing off that side, you could pretty much just take the leaf spring out. There we go. I didn't even need to take the wheels off, although we do need it for that axle, so... Let's take these wheels off. Right, everything is out, apart from that fuel tank. Let's just get that fuel pump out there, fuel tank. Right, that's everything out there. So all we're left with here is the exhaust and the engine, which is what we're going to leave. And actually, the one thing I am going to take is the battery, because that car did not have a battery in it. So Let's just grab the battery, and also I'm going to take the brake servo as well, because they're just nice, simple bits. So this just leaves us with the engine in this car. It can't really do much. It looks nice, but there's nothing really going on there. Okay, here we are. What's that? Is that? Oh, I think that's just that's a bit of light coming through. Okay, right. Let's just start putting all of this back together then. All of these parts going back onto this one. And here it is. Look at that. We've also got all these engine bits all waiting, but let's just go ahead and stick all of this base stuff on first. I think that's going to make sense to stick all of this stuff on first. And it's so nice now that I've already had a car that was completely done that I don't have to worry about buying parts, at least at this stage. So we should only have to worry about buying the tuner parts in this video, which is not too bad at all. So here we are, just putting all the bushings back on here. I've almost got this side almost done. I'm ready to actually put the wheels on this side. Okay, here's one side of the front pretty much done. I can't see if there's anything else to put in there. I can actually put the wheel back on. Oh, of course, we do need the front springs and the cap. There we go. And, of course, the upper suspension arm. And that is that side done on the front. Now to move over. Oh, we need to do, where is it? Oh, I got both rubber bushings in there. That's perfect. Right, let's just move over to this side now. Here we are, just doing this other side. And yes, if you are worrying about the competition just a little bit later, I'm not going to leave you hanging for too long. I'm going to give you a little question for you to answer, and that will enter you into the competition in order to possibly win a code. And I should point out at this stage, I guess I should explain it now. You do need to make sure that I can message you on YouTube. If I can't message you on YouTube, there's no way for me to give you the code. So please make sure that you have the ability to be messaged on YouTube if you want to actually win. And don't forget that if you do win the code and you don't have the game, of course you do need to buy the game in order for that code to work. So unless you have the game already, then yay, then you don't need to do all that much at all. Right, there's our outer tie rod. What else do we need to go on here? That's it. Apart from the rim, I was going to say rim and wheel at the same time. That's the front end pretty much done. Let's move over to the back then. Get that all. Oh god, where do I start? Oh, of course I didn't press assemble mode. Right, there we go. Drive axle in. The back is just so much easier to do. There we go. There's those U-bolts back in. And I think that's everything. Oh, yeah, of course. We do need to stick on all the stuff here. Did I not put that on the other side? I did not. I did not. Okay, brake shoe, brake drum. And now that's just got the wheel. So we now need to go to the other side. Yeah, I didn't do that side. That was a bit dumb. There's the wheel cylinder, brake shoes, brake drum on there, and that just leaves us with, I guess, the wheels. What else have we got left? We've got one of these things. Oh, we have the drive shaft. Fuel tank, fuel pump, brakes. Okay, let's just stick that back on then. So, fuel tank in, and fuel pump in, and there's just the drive shaft. But the drive shaft doesn't really go anywhere yet, so I'll worry about that a little bit later. So that's everything there done. In fact, what I should do is actually I'm just going to buy some wheels now just so we can get that over and done with. So I think now we can stick any wheel we want on. Even if we wanted the wheels from a 300 SL, we could actually do a wheel swap. But I might just go with the tried and tested wheels that I know and love in the tuner shop. Go to rims. Go to these retro black ones here. I'm just a huge fan of these ones. I think they're the nicest looking. So let's go for 4 of those and jam those on here because that should look really, really nice. And do you know what? I think that was a good idea because that looks pretty mean. I really like that. I never used to be into black wheels, by the way. I always used to think that black sort of hid the design of the wheel. But I don't know. I'm kind of half agreeing with that and half not because I'm actually really into dark wheels at the moment. But I think these look pretty nice. So there's the last of the wheels. So now we have what looks like a rolling shell at this point. In fact, this is a rolling shell. There we go. That is everything done. So now all we have to do is just stick our brand new engine in. Here we are. Right, so I'm going to go to swap engine, and I'm going to go to the V8 2-carb overhead cam supercharged, which is going to give us, wow, that is a huge amount of money. 42,000, and that's going to give us 418 horsepower compared to the 248 that we had on that one. There we go. Let's go for it. And there she is. Look at that. Now, we definitely have to get rid of this hood, which is a shame, because I would have liked to have kept that hood. In fact, here's the thing. We can actually have it on, but it looks dumb because there's no hole and it just looks silly. So I am going to take that off. So let's just go ahead and take that off. There we go. And I'm going to leave it bonnetless for now. Hopefully it's not going to affect the aerodynamics of the car and make it all sort of handle like a bitch on the drag strip. We'll have to see. But as this is a rolling car, I think this is, yeah, it says parts condition is 95. Oh, of course, I need middle muffler. Oh, the exhaust, of course. We need the exhaust. Let's see if the exhaust's changed, but not before. Hang on, I'm sort of getting confused because it wants me to put the hood in. There we go. Brake servo. Oh, of course, we also need the radiator at the front as well. The battery there, and we need to grab us a radiator out of this thing. There we go, and go and jam that in. No, I don't want to... No, go away. I keep pressing the button too soon. There we go. And let's just see if the exhaust is the same. I have a feeling it is. But let's just have a look. Yep, okay, so I think this is the same. And also, let's not forget the drive shaft. Let's stick that in whilst we have the chance. Yeah, I think these exhausts are the same. I think nothing has changed. But it was just, I just wanted to make sure, as that was a detail that I didn't think about. But I definitely think, yes, that's definitely the same. So let's pull that off of this car and bung that onto that one. Now, I don't know how far back it goes. I think we go back to the front exhaust pipe. I'm going to... Can I not take that off? Why can't I take that off? Oh, it's because I was in the wrong mode. There we go. I'm going to take those off, but I have a feeling that it did actually already come with those. And the rear muffler bit, that's everything, isn't it? That's a really simple exhaust to stick on. There we go. Did it have the front? Oh, it did have those on. Okay. Well, there's a middle muffler there. There's a middle muffler there. And then the rear muffler on both sides. That's the exhaust. Nice and done. So that should be 100% parts condition. The body condition is terrible. Hopefully the game doesn't make it so that the part condition of the body affects handling or anything, or how it runs on the drag strip, as I'd like it to stay in its rusty, ratty form, as I think that looks pretty cool. Look at that. There we go. There is our ratty drag car. So now that I've got everything done, let's just see what I've got in here. We can sell all of this sort of stuff, I guess. And I guess also sell this car because there's not much use for it anymore. That's it. That's that car pretty much done with. Even though it's got a nice shiny new engine, I'm just going to go ahead and sell it for 32,000. Is that going to make our money back? Oh, that's so close to making our money back. Let's just sell these and see. No, okay, we didn't get our money back. We're still about 3,000. Actually, we're more than 3,000 down because we're actually in the positive. So it has cost us a lot of money to do that, what we just done there, which was pretty much to swap everything. Oh, mind you, we did actually have that huge money for the engine swap, so that's not too bad. That isn't too bad, and also including those new wheels. It's cost a little bit, but not too much to do this full swap over to this new body. Okay, let's go and take it to the dyno. And here she is on the test run, and this should give us the number that it had, quoted 418. I'm not going to do any tuning on this thing until right at the end. Of course, there's no ECU tuning because this is a full carburetor setup. Right, back to garage. I guess it's time now. Look at that thing. Looks amazing. Oh, actually, before we do, let's get a time. Let's get a time before we go anywhere else. Okay, here we are. Oh, that sounds good. And go. Huge amounts of wheel spin. This is a standard. Whoa! Whoa! My God! Okay. What the hell? Wow. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to try and sort of control the wheel spin, so I'm not going to do huge amounts of revs off the line. Here we go. Oh, that's still a lot. Oh, and into second. There is... Wow. Okay, so this is obviously going to be the concern because that huge jump gave us a pretty much only slightly faster 0 to 60 time than we had before, but that has given us a 13.9 quarter mile time, which is a pretty good improvement. What was it before? 15.3 was it? I can't remember what it was now, but it was a 28 second. We've lost 4 seconds on the top end, but this thing is a real bitch to start, which I guess can be remedied with the tyres, but we're not going to be doing that in this video. So let's go back to the garage, tune up the engine, and let's see if we can get an improvement on that 13.9. Let's see. Here we are, back in. Look at that beauty. Just look at that. She looks absolutely wonderful. And I have noticed that she doesn't have any front lights. It does have rear lights, no front lights. I'm not sure if that and the lack of bonnet is going to be affecting the handling. It might have done. I'm not completely sure, but I guess we'll just keep going as we are. So now, what I have to do is I'm going to go to the tuner shop. Actually, it's not the tuner shop I want. It's the performance shop I want. And now I guess... Oh, wow. I'm going to have to try and think of what parts we need now because we... Oh, God. We're going to have to tear the engine out. We're nowhere near done. Oh, my God. Okay, so this is the new engine that we've got in here. Look at this thing. This looks stunning. So we've got a big, massive air scoop. We've got these 2 scoop air filters, which I haven't seen on the performance thing. We have 2 4-barrel carburetors. So we can take those off. So this is interesting because this is a supercharger setup with carburetors. And I didn't think that was how it worked. But I guess it runs both ways. You can have supercharged carburetor setups and you could have supercharged sort of fuel injected setups. So that's pretty interesting. Let's take the radiator off so we can see what we're doing down here. Let's take the radiator fan off. There we go. And that just leaves us with all these lovely belts up here going to this supercharger. That looks amazing. Right, let's take that belt A off. Belt B. Now we could take off the supercharger. Look at this thing. This is huge. I didn't actually see if there was an uprated supercharger, actually. I haven't noticed that at all. Then we have this big, massive supercharger intake. We're going to take that off because we do actually need to go all the way down to the pistons anyway, because there's still no crankshaft tuning as far as I know. There's camshaft, no crankshaft. Yeah, there's no crankshaft. But we need to get as far down as the pistons because we are going to be replacing all those for a full rebuild and tune-up of the engine. There we go. There's one side. Let's get rid of those ignition wires. Look at all those rocker arms. These are crazy. So many of them on this one. But I can't remember having to do that on the Mercedes. So why was the Mercedes V8 different? Is that because it was... I don't know. This was the thing. Also, someone pointed out. I think it's because it was a manual fuel injection and it wasn't computer-based. It didn't have an ECU. So it still had the same tuning because you may notice I used the carb tuner on the Mercedes video. It didn't have a carb. It's because it was apparently manual fuel something. Or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. There we go. There's our spark plugs off. Of course, we need to take those out because they definitely can be replaced. And so can our exhaust manifold. And in fact, so can the whole exhaust. So the whole exhaust is going to have to come off again anyway. Even though we've only just put it back on. So there's one head off all the way down to the pistons. Now again, just the whole same thing on the other side. Yay! Okay, there's all the rocker arms off. So the rocker arms work with the valve push rods. So do the valve push rods, I guess they move up and down and they move the things that moves. Yeah, see, I'm always learning. I mean, I've always, as I've pointed out earlier in this video, not always had an interest in how engines work. I've always just sort of liked engines just in general, but I haven't really known or cared to know how they worked until pretty much recently. So that's why some of you are younger and going, well, I'm 12 and I know this thing, but that's great. You're interested in that thing. You know, I wasn't at the time. That's just how it was. And also, I've got to say, being a car enthusiast now as a kid, it's just so... In fact, being an enthusiast of anything as a kid now is so different as it was as I was a kid. And in fact, those of you that are older than me would know, because we just didn't have the internet to look at things. It was just, you either just knew through word of mouth or by buying a book on it, and that was it. I mean, like, we didn't have things like Car Throttle. I mean, Car Throttle was more just a social media thing. But I mean, back in the day, it was all just like reading through old forums. If there was a car that I sort of had an interest in, I would sign up to the car forums and then I'd look around and, you know, learn through bits and stuff. But there was also obviously a lot that I didn't look at because I was like, well, I don't have the car. I don't need to learn like how to do this part of the engine thing. So I didn't learn about everything. But yeah, that was how you got information when I was a teenager. But as a kid, it was books or nothing. And that's why I think people can learn so much more now at a younger age. It's crazy. It's like YouTube. I've actually been making videos with my friends since I was a kid. I mean, I've got old camcorders where we used to film like mock TV shows and stuff. I don't think I'll ever put them online because they are just hugely embarrassing. But that was the thing, like all of that sort of stuff, which now, you know, you can just make YouTube videos as a kid now, and it's crazy. Back in the day, we didn't have YouTube to even upload the videos on. Okay, so we need to take all the bottom end of stuff off so it's all back. Let's lift it up. So back in the day, when me and my friends used to make videos and we wanted to share them with our friends, we either had to upload the whole raw video to a server, which you had to then pay for, or you had to use Shoutcast and broadcast it live. We didn't have Twitch. We didn't have any of that sort of stuff. We used to basically go through Winamp, go through Shoutcast TV, and we used to broadcast the screen that way. And it's so crazy now that you could just like download a Twitch app or, you know, whatever and just stream whenever you want. That is amazing to me. It is amazing how much the experience that you guys are having now, as those of you that are growing up, is just so different to what I had as a kid, and those that are older than me, how they had it when they were kids. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So there we go. There's all of our pistons out, and I guess we don't need to take all the camshafts and stuff out. We just needed all the pistons and stuff, I guess, so we can leave that in there. We take the crankshaft. I mean, we take the camshaft out. I don't think we can have an uprated oil filter, so I guess I could leave the rest of that on. I guess that stuff can stay. But I will, in fact, get rid of all of this stuff under here. All of the exhaust stuff can go because we can definitely upgrade all that stuff. There we go. There's all that off. And, of course, Let's take the drive shaft off again because we need to get to the gearbox, because we will be replacing the clutch and stuff as well. Okay, there we go. Let's take our starter off. Don't forget about the old starter. Get rid of the gearbox. Again, so much simpler than real life. So simple to take this off. There we go. That's that off. Then that. Just a couple of bolts. No big deal. No having to worry about stuck bolts. Any of that shit. Straight off. Clutch plate. Flywheel. Nice. And we could take the crankshaft out, but there's no need to because there's no replaceable crankshaft. Right. Okay. Let's go to the tuner menu. The performance shop, rather. And, well, I guess, hang on. Let's just find out. Is this going to be classed under V8? V8 OHF. V8 OHF. V8. Pretty much the general thing there. So I think I'm just going to buy everything that's generic that has V8 OHF and V8 on it. And then whatever we're left with we can sell. Because we don't really have to worry about money. So we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Or the... I don't know. This isn't the old-fashioned way. This is the easier way. So I'm just going to type in V8 OHV. Was I saying F before? It's 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and V8. There we go. We only needed 1 crankshaft, didn't we, for this V8? So that was how it worked. It was slightly different because the other one had 2 crankshafts. 2 camshafts. God, I keep saying those wrong. Okay, I am noticing that there are 2 engine heads here. I can't remember what one it was. I think it was that one. I think it is that one. Oh, there's 2 different... Oh, God. There's 2 different exhaust things for the V8 and V8 OHF. Oh, God. No, okay. The exhaust and stuff is OHF, 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 engine head, OHF. Whew. Okay, right. Okay, so I was on the right line there. There we go. Power steering, pump, ignition wires, and I don't think there was a throttle on that one. No throttle to worry about. Okay, what else do we have to worry about here? Carburetors. 2 4-barrel carburetors. Clutch plate. Clutch pressure plate. Manifold we've already got. Flywheel. I think we need some more exhaust stuff, but I'm not completely sure. New fuel pump. I don't think we had any of these ignition coils or anything like that. We did have a distributor cap. Definitely not a straight 6 one, so I guess it's that one. And the rotor. And there's a distributor. I don't know if that's upgradable. Is that new? I don't remember that being there. I think that's new. So that we might actually have to go back on the other cars and just change some of the bits, because there might even be some new bits that they can have for a little bit of extra. But I don't know yet. So, intake manifold, 2 carb. That's right, but hang on, no, it's a supercharger one, isn't it? So we don't have that one. Right. Okay, so the supercharger one doesn't have... Hang on, let's just get these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there is some bits here that are going to be different because of the fact we have got a supercharger. Let's get some spark plugs. There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we don't have any of those special filters and stuff. We're going to have to go back here and go to supercharger. Yeah, see, this is all just stock stuff. I mean, this is not anything that you could tune. This is all basic stuff. So there isn't even a different tuner version of the supercharger, unlike what we have with the turbocharger. Okay, so let's see what we've got to deal with here. So we have the exhaust. There we go. There's our new muffler on that side. New muffler on that side. What have we got here? This is the middle muffler. We did not get a new middle muffler. Okay, so we grab 2 of those. That's pretty simple. Just bung that on. There we go. There's our optional part. Nice and shiny. Looking absolutely lovely. Front exhaust pipe. We have the upgraded version of that. And that. And we can go ahead and stick our flywheel and everything back on if we can. I think we have to move over here to do it. There we go. Flywheel on. And let's just move up here so we can see what we're doing. Clutch plate on. Clutch pressure plate on. All bolted up. And the release bearing. And then the gearbox. And the starter motor. And then the drive shaft. And all that bit will be done. So we only have to worry about the engine bay from now on, I think. There we go. Starter motor is on. There we go. And just the drive shaft, which is always a pain. There we go. Have we got it? There we go. That was actually slightly easier. I think we have to always point at the back first in order to get the drive shaft to actually trigger. Right, that's all of that bit done. So now I think there's nothing else to do underneath there until we got our pistons in. So let's just go ahead and stick this down here. Right, here we go. Pistons. Right, we're going to have to start getting rid of some of this old stuff that I have replaced because it's going to be a huge pain otherwise. Okay, so the camshaft is different here. I have got a V8 OHF one here, but that one's a V8 one. So that's something that we have to change. Right, so there isn't actually a camshaft OHF on here to change? Right. Interesting. There we go. That is all of that stuff ready to go back in. Everything that is there will be definitely going back in. Apart from those camshafts, because I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. So here we are. There's all the pistons in. There we go. And that one there. Then the engine heads on both sides. That looks much better with those reds on the inside. That looks nice. And then the same again on the other side. We've got short bolts on this one and long bolts on the other side. And there we go. Look, supercharger intake manifold. So we don't have the ability to upgrade one of those. Maybe that will come in a later date. So we probably could actually make this even faster, which we'll have to find out in another video. There's our supercharger on. We can actually build this all up right now. And here's going to be our shiny new carburetors. Look at those. They look amazing. I wish my carburetor on my car looked like that. And then we could put the filters. I tell you what, it would be nice if we could actually put like the separate horn things on those. That would look so cool instead of those ones. And anyway, we do have this huge air scoop anyway, so I guess it sort of matches because this is a blown motor. Is that what counts as blown? This is what counts as blown, isn't it? This thing's sticking out. I guess that's what blown means. I could be wrong. But every time I've heard of blown, I've seen a picture of that, so I think that's what blown means. I'm sure you guys will correct me because I'm sure you guys will know. So I'm sure you guys can let me know. And by the way, when I say that, I'm not saying that sarcastically or whatever. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of you that are having a go at me for not knowing things. And, you know, I'd rather you teach me than have a go at me. That's what I'm saying. Right, there's all that in. And now that we've got all the way near to the end, I've sort of left this detail out. I guess you guys are waiting on information on how to win a code to get the performance DLC. So I want you guys in the comments to give me the answer to this following question that I haven't made up in my head yet. It's still coming. I'm still thinking of it. Uh-oh, I can't think of a question. Here's a good one. What is your favorite aftermarket wheel? There we go. I was almost going to say alloy wheel because it might not actually be an alloy wheel. Any favorite aftermarket wheel? I would love to know what your favorite wheel is in the comment section. So any comment that just lets me know what their favorite wheel is, you will be entered into winning possibly a code for this DLC. And I will be announcing those at some point soon. And by the way, yes, there were winners to the other one. No, I forgot. Yes, I forgot to announce them, but I do have screenshots of the winning comments, and I did message all of the winners quite a while back, so the winners should probably know by now if they've won. But I don't know. It might be worth checking your messages on YouTube because I guess people might not actually check them out. So I will do a separate video announcing the winners from those giveaways all the way back when I did the original Mercedes DLC videos. And I will do the announcements for the comments that won from this video, the Civic video, and the Mercedes video. And then I'll announce them all in one little separate video, perhaps. But there we go. Or maybe I'll announce them at the start of another Car Mechanic Simulator video. I don't know what I'll do. That's what I said last time, and then I never did it. That was that was the problem. But I guess you guys will know that you've won because I'll message you. So just, you know, be vigilant and check your messages, and maybe you'll win. So yeah, just to reiterate, in the comment section, just give me a comment just saying what your favorite aftermarket wheel is. And I will pick one of those comments at random and message them, providing you have messages enabled on YouTube. And I will send you a code if you win, if I pick your comment. There we go. It's random. It's not like I'm going to say, oh, well, I like that wheel, so I'll pick you. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick one at random. It's completely random, so do not worry about that. Okay, there's our steering wheel pump. That's a nice optional extra. I don't know how this is actually going to change it. That's a power steering pump, but how's that going to change how... do we have an upgraded fuel filter? That's a point. Yes, we do. There we go. Well, I'll grab one of those. It's because the engines that I was doing before did not. So we can take that off and stick our new version on. There we go. There's a better fuel filter. Yeah, how is the power steering pump going to be affecting how it works on this game? Yes. Okay, so here is our camshaft. It is the V8 OHF version, and there is no V8 OHF camshaft in this list, which means we can only put the standard camshaft back in, which is a huge shame. It would have been nice if we could have put in a custom camshaft like the rest of the engines can, but apparently this one can't, so I don't know. There we go. There's all of that back on there. Looking rather nice. I think we're getting close to finish, so then we can do the final test run on the dyno, final test run on the strip, and then we're going to go and tune it as well, and then get our final times, and I'll worry about all the tyres and stuff in another video. So there we go. Oh, just accidentally. Hang on. It's very hard to get the camera. There we go. Take that off and put the better one on, which is what I just accidentally didn't do there. There we go. Optional one on there. Wires on there. And also, don't forget the clips. God damn it, don't forget the clips. Which is awkward because I put that in and you can kind of almost not get it. I can't. Why can't I get it? Oh, God. I don't want to have to take all this out again. Okay, if I get slightly... Oh, I can get it flashing green, but I can't... Oh! 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 Oh, come on. There. Oh! No. Oh, there we go. We got it. Whew. Wow. That was crazy. And what else we got on this side? Oh, we have got the manifold and stuff on this side as well. And then we have our supercharger pulley. Then we have that belt. Then we have the crankshaft pulley. And then we should have another belt that attaches to the... Is that that's not the power steering. What am I on about? Oh, it does attach to the power steering. Oh, that's interesting. So the power steering pump does change how it goes to the crankshaft. Huh. Interesting. I'll be interested to know how they sort of correlate with each other in real life. That's interesting to me. I didn't know that sort of thing would affect performance in any way. There's a radiator in, and that is a completely empty... Oh, no. Oh, hang on. Did we... Hang on. Did we... Hang on. Wait, what? Did I not do any of the underneath? Yeah, I missed the underneath. Oh, dearie me. Well, I guess in real life that wouldn't have happened, but there we go. Actually, in real life, I probably wouldn't have done this myself. But that is the thing. Now that I've been playing this game, I have been thinking, is this possible? Is this something that I could do as someone who is inept with working with their hands? Is working on an engine and rebuilding an engine something that I could do? I think in the future... When I've got a bit more spare time and a bit more spare money, do you know what? I might give it a go. And I'll probably do a video blogging and explaining it all so you guys can watch. I think that's everything done then. Is that... What have we got? The fuel pump is... Is that the uprated version? Let's just see. So let's take that one out there and go to put it back in. Yeah, okay, that was the optional part. So we can have that one. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Fuel filter, camshaft. Okay, that is everything then replaced. Let's take it to the dyno. But of course, before we go to the dyno, we can't forget oil, which is something I always forget, but I didn't forget this time. Here we go. Oh, no, let's not take that off. I just want to go to the oil fill plug. There we go. And we're not getting any mess anywhere on our lovely, shiny, new head. In fact, actually, that was shiny before, but it was shiny when we put the engine in, so I guess that is new. There we go, and let's just test and see what our oil level's like. Nice, right in the middle. Perfect. Okay, let's take it to the dyno. Okay, this is exciting. Let's see what we get. Oh, wow. Let's keep going. 500. 570 brake horsepower. Still not close to that 1,000 brake horsepower mark. Apparently, some cars can go higher. We'll definitely do a video on that at some point. I'm sure you guys would like to see an over 1,000 brake horsepower car in this thing, because there is actually 3 new cars with this DLC that I have still not looked at in a video. So I might leave those for another video. Right, so that's 570. And that is with the stock carburetor tuning, all like that, all completely all messed up. So now let's just go and see what sort of time that gives us. Then we'll do an ECU or a carburetor tuning, and then we'll have our final run of the day. Okay, now I've got to remember, be calm on the throttle, because I can't change, I can't favor the throttle or anything like that. Oh, no, we're not, shit. Let's try that again. Okay, let's give this another try, and I'm not going to talk. Okay, let's just try and... Oh, and... No, second. Oh, God, this is too bad. Oh, God. I think I sort of regret... I wonder if they made the tyres worse now that they have the tyre sort of update. That's an interesting point, actually. Let's go for a drive. Let's see what's up here. Oh, hang on. Let's just try and calm this thing down. Let's just... Oh, go up here. What's up here? Is this... Oh, God, this is ridiculous. It's like driving on ice. Okay, over here is just empty. I think we can't actually drive out of there. Can we not? We cannot. Okay, right, let's just restart that again. So this time, I'm going to start it in second without revs, or maybe only slightly little revs. There we go. Second. It's going to spin out. It's going to spin out. Oh, no, we calmed it down. We calmed it down. It's good. And third gear, we've got a 6.3 second 0 to 100. 9 second on the 8th. 13.6 on the quarter mile, so we have got a slightly faster time, even with that really shitty start. And that's going to be a, what is it, a 23? 23 second. Ooh, kilometer. Oh, God. Right, 13.6 to beat. That is really difficult with those wheels. Let's see what we can get with a tuning upgrade. Okay, here we are back in the dyno. Let's just do a first test run so we can get our base number, just so we can remind ourselves. It is a 570 that we have to upgrade from. Okay, so there's going to be our base power, 570. Now I need to remember how to do this thing. It's something like, there we go, there's 10%. There's a proper ratio, so we can actually set that carburetor. Note, they've actually changed it because it did say EEP ROM on the carburetor. Now it does actually say set carburetor this time. So they have also changed that. So we need to go up like that. That's going to give us an 8. So let's just go for a down each time. That's going to give us a 10. That's going to give us a 12. That's going to give us a 14. That's going to give us a 16. We want to get ourselves up to 18. There we go. I've got the hang of the tuning now. Let's see how much power we get over 570. Wow, 645 brake horsepower. This is just going to be an absolute animal on the strip. Okay, I don't think this is meant to be a 10-second car build. I don't think we're going to get that far. Oh god, I might actually, by the time that you watch this video, it might not even have 10-second build as the title, but originally this was going to be a 10-second build attempt. So I guess I might actually still consider this the 10-second car attempt, but I guess we can consider this a fail, because I don't think we're going to be getting anywhere. Okay, there's second gear. Ooh, I shouldn't have gone full throttle. That was terrible. That was terrible. Okay, start again. Okay, let's give this another try. I'm going to go for second gear. Not too much on the throttle. And I'm just trying to... Oh, why? The problem is, because we only have a static linear button, W, or up, in order to accelerate, I can't sort of gradually just get more and more throttle as we go. It's either all or nothing. I'm going to try third gear and not that much on the revs and just see where we go. Oh, that's going to be terrible. That is terrible. But we haven't spun out. Oh, here it goes. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, so we've got an 8-second... I mean, the quarter mile time is going to be awful. Yeah, that's a really slow quarter mile time. Yeah, that was actually pretty terrible. But I'd be interested to see where the kilometer time's going to be terrible as well, isn't it? 23. We actually got top speed there. Was that top speed in third? Why couldn't I change up from that? Third gear was apparently it in this car. Right, let's have one. We've got to have one run at least. Okay, here we go. Second gear start. There we go. Just give it a little bit off. Little bit off. Little bit off. Little bit off. Go. No! Okay, I'm not going to talk at the start. I want full concentration here. Let's go. Whew. And go. And, right, that's it. Oh, no, we've got a little bit of spin. Oh, okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, okay. We've got a 5.9 second 0 to 100. 12.9 on the quarter mile. I got there in the end, guys. I am sort of running out of gear. I mean, I've only got 3 gears, apparently, in this thing. I don't know where the gear ratios came from. Would this have had a 3-speed automatic? I don't feel like it would have. I guess those might be the automatic gearbox ratios or something. I don't know. But we have got a 12.9 quarter mile time. It is not the 10 seconds I was looking for. It's, I guess that I reckon with those tyres we could possibly get into the 10 second, or we might have to just go for a whole other build because it might not be possible with the Mustang. But this is a fully rebuilt, in fact I've just noticed, can you guys see an engine anywhere out of the screen? Because I can't see the blower. I've just realised that we can't even see the blower out of this thing. I mean, that's awful. That's what? Why is that? Why does it do that? That's weird. Okay, that's lame. Well, there we go. There is a 12.9. Let's just go back to the garage. Okay, here she is. I guess this is sort of the time when I should end the video, but I just want to put on some new front lights on this thing. So let's just look for this thing. Salem, it's not a Flammo, it's not a Kieran, it's a Spectre Fastback, and I want to go for these crosshaired lights here, as I think they would look pretty nice on this one. There we go, there's our crosshaired lights. There we go, we're not going to worry about a bonnet or anything like that, because it would look nice and shiny, and we don't want that. I mean, it's shiny enough, and I wished it wasn't. I wished it was sort of matted if it had rust on it, but it's meant to look like our sort of rusted out, ratty look Mustang. I think it looks pretty cool. It's all good. We've got a 12.9. I would have preferred to have had a 10 second, but I don't know. Perhaps on the video where we change the tyres on this car and all the others, we might be able to get some good times and good scores. We'll have to see, but there we go. And in fact, I will actually I've just decided I will let this challenge run. It might be a week or so. And then I will do a video with the times on the tyres run. And I will announce all the winners then. There we go. So when that video comes out, you'll be able to see if you've won. And then you'll be able to check out your message box on YouTube. But just check them out anyway. Just be vigilant. Just in case. Because you might win and you might not see the other video come up. So there we go, guys. That is it. Just to reiterate, if you would like to win a code, either look for the code that was hidden somewhere in the video and put that into Steam, providing you already have the game, or you can win a code, and if you win a code, then you'd probably have more chance of then buying the game if you didn't have the game already, so the code would actually work. Just leave a comment below saying what your favourite aftermarket wheel is. That is it for this video. It's a very long video. Wow. 1 minute 20. Oh, God. Whoa. I'm sort of burping. I want to burp. I'm going to swallow. Whew, okay, I'm hitting the microphone. I'm getting a bit... This is actually a really long recording time. My throat is really sore. 1 minute, 1 hour, 21, almost 1 hour 22 on this recording right now. And I guess it won't be that long, hopefully, when it's all edited and stuff and put on YouTube. But there we go. That is it. If you have watched all the way to the end of this video... the thing is, I'm going to say this, but I don't want the comments to be full of things, of a secret word, because it's going to mess up with all the other things I've asked you to comment on that I've said or talked about in this video. So I'm not going to have a comment at the end of this. I'm not going to have a secret phrase because I don't want the comments to just be full of that comment. So we'll have to do that in another video. So there we go, guys. That's it. Thank you all very much for watching. You are just so amazing. Just to let you know, if you have watched the whole thing, you are freaking amazing. You are an amazing person. You are highly valued to me. You're just an awesome person. So thank you so much if you have watched this entire thing. I hope it wasn't too boring for you. There we go, guys. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.